Previously on the Ark of Time.
Looks like some sort of newspaper article.
About what?
Well, let's see. A local business owner arrested in New Covenant murder.
Adam, what's wrong?
It's about my father.
Who'd he kill?
I don't know exactly. Some sort of priest, I think.
The state of Georgia was rocked last month when prominent philanthropist Reverend Jessup Jones was murdered outside his Buckhead home.
What? Remember what Britt said? It's never too late to change the future.
But this isn't the future, it's the past.
For you?
What?
This must be the future for me.
So, you're saying we're supposed to prevent my father from murdering that guy?
I'm simply giving you a glimpse into the future. What is done with that information is up to you.
Looks like there are quite a few blogs here trashing your group as corrupt and using religion as a front for your real aims.
Which are?
Money and power.
Quite well. There is one other thing that I'd like for you to do, Jessup, before you make your run for the treasure.
Just one?
That is correct, but for me it was the most difficult decision that I have ever had to make. You have the opportunity to change the way that things have turned out.
I think we already discussed this, and you gave us a typical non-answer, just like you always do.
Adam makes a good point. You're quite good at dodging our questions, like when we asked if you were an angel or a messenger from God before.
I most certainly did not. I told you that I am, which is something that I've been telling you and the rest of humanity since the beginning.
You are what? What kind of answer is that? We all are, otherwise we wouldn't be,
Wait,
right?
You mean?
I think you've got it now.
But I don't. Will somebody please tell me what's going on here?
I can't believe the way that I've spoken to you.
I can assure you that others have said much worse.
Will someone please tell me what is going on here?
I'll leave that to Jessup to share when the time is right. For now, it's high time that you are on your way.
But where are we going this time? So what the devil was that all about?
I'm afraid you choose your words poorly, Adam.
You're starting to sound like Britt.
Britt isn't really an apt name for him either. I guess I always imagined my voice when I heard him talking in my head.
So now you're hearing voices?
It's just a lot to take in.
Wait, you mean you really are cracking under the pressure?
I'm going to be fine.
Okay, but can you please tell me why you're shaking like that?
Adam, all this time, the whole time we thought that Britt was just our guide on this adventure. But I think he's actually the guy calling all the shots.
Yeah? So what's your point?
You mean you're not surprised by that?
Well, no, of course not. He's been the one sending us all around this whole time. I thought that was clear from the start.
No, I think it's more than that, Adam. I think he calls all of the shots.
Well, he can't really control what we do on these little adventures. I kind of thought that was the point.
Free will is the point of all of this, but I think that he has a lot more to say than you are giving him credit for.
You're not making any sense. It's not as if he's God or something, Jessup. Just tell me what you're trying to say.
That's it.
What is?
He's God.
Oh.
That's all you've got to say on the subject?
Yeah, I guess it is.
It really is a lot to take in. Take your time. I'm sure whatever we've been sent here to witness can wait a moment.
Nah, I'm fine. Where do you think we are?
I'm not really sure exactly. We can probably ask someone in that city over there. Looks like it's a ways off, though.
At least there isn't a wall. Let's get to walking, then. What language are they speaking?
It sounds like Aramaic.
Right, that's this button.
You got it.
There we are. Excuse me, sir. We've been traveling for a long time and have gotten turned around a bit, I'm afraid. Can you tell me what city this is?
You're in Jerusalem. Ah, and what day is it exactly? It is the first day of Passover. You have arrived just in time. I am sure someone will be willing to share their meal with you. Oh, I see.
What is it?
I'm pretty sure we're looking for an upper room, and that tonight is the night that Judas will make his move against Jesus.
Well, that's pretty terrible.
Yes, it is. And from the big guy's clues, I'm thinking we might have the chance to stop Judas and save Jesus' life, or let things play out as they did originally.
Whoa, that's kind of a big deal.
Deciding to spare Jesus?
Well, yeah, I guess. But I meant meeting God and Jesus in the same day. If we can track down that Holy Spirit character, we can have the whole trio.
I don't think that we'll be running into the Holy Spirit anytime soon.
Maybe that's the problem.
I suppose it might be. Wait a moment. That was a pretty profound statement for you, Adam.
Can we just say that a close brush with the creator of... well, the creator of everything might have that effect on a guy?
That's a fair statement. Few people get that kind of proof, though. It's too bad that others cannot have the same experience.
That's not how it works, though, right? I mean, usually...
No, not usually. So what are we going to do?
Well, Jesus is going to be here tonight, right?
Yes, the Last Supper took place in a room in Jerusalem on the first day of Passover. After they eat, they will adjourn to the Garden of Gethsemane, and that's where Judas will bring the soldiers to arrest Jesus. They'll take him to the Jewish authorities, who will convict him of blasphemy, and then to Pilate.
A pilot? I'm pretty sure they don't have airplanes.
Pilate is the name of the man who presided over Jesus' trial, if you can call it that.
He had 2 trials? These guys are harsh.
It seemed as though no one really wanted to take responsibility for his sentencing. Even Pilate washed his hands of the whole thing and turned Jesus over to the people to crucify him.
Tough crowd.
That's probably the biggest understatement that I've heard escape from your mouth.
So we can stop all that from happening?
Perhaps.
But what would be the point? Doesn't he just come back to life anyway?
We can save him from that horrible experience. But there would be repercussions of biblical proportions.
At this point, the repercussions are always biblical.
This is no joke, Adam. Britt really sent us here to decide if Jesus should die, and after the close brush with my own death, I'm not sure that I could put anyone to that fate, let alone the Son of God.
I see your point. But do we really have a choice? Britt, or God, sounded like he was sure that he made the right choice, even though he didn't like it.
Indeed.
Maybe we should meet with this Jesus guy and see how he feels about it.
We'll need to find the upper room in a hurry. It's getting pretty late, and they've probably begun dinner already.
You are looking for Jesus?
What? Oh, yeah, we are. Why?
Do you know where he is eating tonight?
As a matter of fact, I do. He is staying at my friend Ashof's place.
Wonderful. Can you show us how to get there?
Yes, come with me.
So, this friend of yours.
Ashof?
Yeah, he must be a pretty important guy if Jesus wants to eat with him.
Well, no, not really. He was quite shocked when one of his followers showed up and asked him for a room.
Which he gladly provided.
Of course. Here we are. It's the place just over there, with the light coming from the upstairs.
Good. Maybe they are still there.
Thank you for your help.
No problem.
This cup is a new covenant in my blood. Do this whenever you drink it, in remembrance of me. For whenever you
Sounds
eat
like
this
we
bread
arrived just
and
in
drink this
time.
cup, we proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Enter.
Excuse me, but are you, Jesus?
I am.
Like father, like son.
I wonder if we could trouble you for a few moments of your time.
Of course. We're nearly finished here. All of you head over to the garden and prepare a place for me to pray. I will rejoin you shortly.
Tonight? Oh man, it's getting kind of late, don't you think?
Yeah, I usually like to take a nap after a big meal.
Yes, James, I know, but tonight is rather special for me, so if you don't mind.
All right, if you insist.
How is it that you've come to find me here?
We were sent here by God to witness the events of the coming days. As you well know, one of your men is about to betray you into the hands of the Pharisees.
It is as you say, but this must come to pass.
You mean you are willing to die?
I would prefer it if it were possible for my father to remove this burden from me. Still, I will be betrayed.
But you have a choice. You do not have to go out into the garden. He sent us to tell you that, I think.
Yeah, and besides, not a lot of good comes from your death anyway.
Well, that's not entirely true, Adam. Jesus' death did remove the burden of sin from all of humanity and allowed us to be saved from an eternity of fire.
You speak strangely as if you also know of what will come to pass after my death.
We do, and we know that your death will not be the least bit pleasant.
I'm prepared to do what I must for the sake of all.
That's a pretty terrible cross to bear. I mean, sorry. I really didn't mean to say that.
Please come in.
Evening, Jesus. Ah, you two made it, I see.
You scoundrel, what are you doing here?
Well, of course I had to stop by. It's the big night and all. I'm glad to see that you didn't get stuck after I took your pendants. It appears you found my lesser models?
Not that you really cared.
On the contrary, mate. I cared quite a lot. Now I have to deal with you again. So, Jesus, you're really going to go through with the whole martyr thing, knowing that it's going to be terrible for you?
I will do what I must.
I figured you'd say that. So I came to offer a little incentive to do something else.
What could you possibly offer that he would want?
By now you've probably figured out that I have my own guide to get me through time. Probably a bit like yours, I'd imagine.
Well, since our guide is an all-powerful being of good, I'll wager that yours is just the opposite.
I can guess who that might be.
Yes, I guess you might say the devil made me do it.
Say what you've come here to say, and then be gone.
Sure, don't get your knickers in a twist. If you'll consent to the offer that these two blokes are making, then we'll see to it that you still get the victory over death that you're shooting for.
I don't recall making an offer.
And what do you get in return?
The satisfaction of a job well done.
I stood before your master in the desert for many days, and he could not tempt me. He will not succeed now.
All right, have it your way. Good luck with that whole dying thing. We had to try, you understand.
Of course.
Now, do like the man said and be gone.
Done deal. See you two fellas later.
I really don't like that guy.
You will be rid of him for a time.
That is good news.
He will likely return to look for you when he realizes that he no longer has your property.
What do you mean?
Adam, our pendants, they're back.
Well, that's a neat trick.
That's not a trick at all, Adam. I simply purloined them. It seemed best that you should have them. If you were sent by my father, then he meant them for you and not the servant of Satan.
You're sure that we cannot convince you to stay here the night?
Jessup, I think the fact that Joe doesn't want him to is the best reason of all to go through with it.
I must fulfill my part in all of this. We will speak again when I return.
All right, then.
One last thing before we leave. You have a pretty tough road ahead of you, and I doubt that anyone has thanked you for your sacrifice, so thank you.
Jessup, you will do many good works. Thank you for helping me to make my decision. Adam, you have many things left to do as well. Don't lose sight of your goal.
Sure. Thanks.
Now I must go.
So, what do we do now?
We wait around, I suppose. The soldiers are going to arrest Jesus and he'll be crucified.
But there's some good news, right? Doesn't he come back in 3 days?
That's the best news of all. I'm just sorry that he has to suffer. He looked so haunted and burdened.
He's pretty much taking the rap for every sin that's been committed, even though he didn't really do anything wrong.
Someone had to.
Just once I'd like you to knock on the door.
Adam, his son is about to die and he can't stop it.
I could indeed, but that's not how things have to be, I'm afraid. It was why he became a man, but that doesn't mean that I have to like that he'll suffer at the hands of my creation.
So, you really are God?
That's the question that most people ask when they meet me for the first time.
Good news again. This isn't the first time I've met you.
Thank you, Adam. And you as well, Jessup. You've shown me that this is the right path.
Kind of gives you tingles.
What's that?
Teaching things to God.
I'm sure he doesn't mean to be impudent, sir.
It's all right, Jessup. You can still call me Brit. I rather like the nickname.
So, what happens now?
You'll see. There is one other thing you must do in a few days. You weren't too awful as messengers, so I think I'll use your services again.
Of course. What can we do?
Well, I think you'll know just the right thing to say when the time comes. Ah, and I see you have your pendants back. Perhaps we can move a bit forward to that point now. I don't think I can bear to watch him suffer again.
That seems best. In 3 days' time, then.
I'd suppose so.
See you again soon.
You know, that really isn't all bad.
I know what you mean. I almost don't notice anymore either. I might not if it weren't for all the lights and the whole blacking out temporarily.
Speaking of lights, it's pretty dark in here. Where are we?
I'm not sure, really. It almost looks like a burial tomb.
I'd guess that, given when we are, that we're in the tomb.
And Britt wants us to be messengers?
Didn't some women come to the tomb and find angels?
Yes, but we aren't.
Shh. Someone's coming. I hope you remember the right words to tell them that Jesus has gone all Night of the Living Dead and whatnot.
That's not exactly how I would.
I don't know, but at least we don't have to find someone to do
Ah,
it.
it's bright!
What?
Where'd all the white light come from?
Who are you?
Be not affrighted. Ye seek Jesus of Nazareth, which was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. But go your way. Tell his disciples and Peter that he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him, as he said unto you.
But who?
Well, you heard the man. Go your way.
Yes, of course, sorry.
Huh? Well, that was easy.
I suppose it was. We should really go to Galilee ourselves. Jesus said that we would speak to him again.
We don't want to make a liar of the guy now that he's holy.
What do you mean? He's
terrible.
always been holy.
Yeah, but now he's got a few extra... never mind. Let's just go. Is it far?
Not too far if I remember correctly, but it'd be easier to get there if we had some transportation.
Well, that was easy. I'll be willing to bet that this is Galilee.
I'd not bet against you on that one.
Then you both win, I suppose.
You're certainly in a better mood.
Of course, this is a happy day. My son will return home soon.
At least he didn't squander his fortune and end up a pig farmer before he made his way back.
Right you are. You'll find him in the upper level of that room there. You see, the one those two women are just leaving. He's alone now and ready to see you before he heads off to visit a few others.
Thanks. What do we do when we're done talking? We should get him a bell to ring or something when he's going to disappear like that.
God works in mysterious ways, Adam. I'm pretty sure he'd never use it. He likes it when we're surprised to see him, I think.
I guess if it makes God happy, then it's probably not a bad thing.
Good point. Let's go see Jesus.
Come in, my friends.
Glad you made it through all right.
Yeah, it's good to see you back on your feet.
I wanted to thank you again for everything that you've done for my father and I. I have faith that you will find that which you seek and be all the better for it.
I think I've already found what I'm looking for.
Perhaps you have, but I understand that you still have one more time to visit before you'll return home with your reward.
So, you're hip to this whole time travel thing now as well?
I have had a little time to be made aware of it, yes.
Why is it that as soon as someone learns that we're time travelers, they can't resist time-based puns? Oh, no offense there, Jesus.
At any rate, I am glad that both of you came to see me before the rest of the events unfolded. Your comments about my death saving all of mankind strengthened my resolve that I had no other choice.
But that was almost an insignificant comment.
Eternity is not insignificant, Jessup, and with your help we have assured that those many people will not face an eternity of torment.
I see.
I must go now. I have little time left.
Oh, yeah, have a good trip. See you in a few thousand years.
Thank you again.
And he's gone. I know I've said it before, but really it must run in the family. Good thing Jesus didn't have any kids.
So that's it then. Now we get to go find Solomon's treasure.
That's what I've been waiting for.
And I suppose you have both earned the right to do so. You have come quite a long way over these last few days. I'd wager that you are both very different people.
I just hope that it's enough to avoid the future that you showed us.
Have faith, Jessup.
I do.
So, we're just going to go ask King Solomon for his treasure, or do we have to read secret codes on dollar bills and old buildings and stuff to get it?
No, nothing like that, but as I have found, it is best to let you figure it out for yourselves. Good luck and Godspeed.
Ha ha! I get it now. Godspeed. That's funny when he says it.
Adam, I worry about you sometimes.
Tonight's episode of the Ark of Time was written by Michael Helgens. Jessup Jones and Adam King were performed by Steve Rimpici and Greg Kilberger. Additional voices were provided by Michael Helgens and Kasey Strosahl. Until next time, thanks for listening from all of us here at Stroby Studios.
Produced by Stroby Studios. Check out StrobyStudios.com for other audio trailers and radio dramas.